Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode 25 of Deb's Artsy Life. This podcast is about, as the name suggests, my artsy life, all my art adventures, watercolor drawing, mixed media art, and knitting and crochet. So it's mostly knitting and crochet, but it's really a combination of whatever I'm into at the time. So I appreciate you being here. Um, it's been a while since I've posted, and I apologize. I'm really going to try to get on a regular schedule, but life just sometimes gets crazy. And my husband is at choir practice tonight, so I thought I would take this opportunity to film a video, and I might start trying to do that maybe 2 times a week. Hopefully, life will settle down for a little bit on my weekends. Um, I wanted to show you some new yarn. I went a little crazy and purchased some more of the Big Twist Party yarn that I'm so fond of if you watch my episodes. This is from Joanne, and it's again Big Twist Party. It is 240 yards. It is acrylic, but it feels like a blend of acrylic and cotton more than just plain acrylic. It's very soft. It works up so beautifully. Um, this color is a new color they've just come out with called Jelly Beans, and I just love it. It is so bright, and it's got all the colors. It's got like a really bright violet, hot pink, yellow. It looks very, very spring-like. So I ordered that, and then this is a color that's also new called Cherry Blossom. It has like pinks and corals and aqua. So I ordered some of that, and then I wanted to try this color. This is totally for my daughter. These are not my colors together, but she loves purple and yellow, and this is like a deep grape sort of violet with like a yellow ochre color. So I showed it to her, and she wants a sweater made out of it. So I went back and ordered enough yarn, enough of this colorway to make her a sweater. So that'll be something I work on soon. So that's my yarn haul for the day. And this is my exciting piece of news. This is my finished Cinnamon Stitches Autumn Sunrise sweater. So I don't know if I'm going to be brave enough to wear this out, but this is the first garment I've made, sweater, that I would possibly wear out. I'm not a huge fan of square necklines, but I've got a tank under it. Of course, you'd have to wear something under it with all the holes, but with the stripes going around, I just feel kind of like it makes me look like a heffalump. But anyway, it comes down to like right below my bottom. And I love the ribbing on the bottom. I did the front post, back post double crochets, and the same thing on the sleeves. I could have probably gone a little longer on the sleeves and it might have been better, but I just wasn't sure how long to make them. So, and I don't know if you noticed, and I'm not sure why it's like this, but the stripes seem to really flow in the sleeve, but then when you get to the body, I guess it's because it's bigger around, obviously, and so it's taken longer to make the round, so it just doesn't turn out quite as flowing as this does. I'm struggling with words, but anyway, here's my sweater. And I am pretty doggone excited about it. It's very warm and it's very soft. It's made out of the Line Brand Ferris wheel in the colorway Sprinkles. And it took me a long time to finish it because, I don't like to work on the same thing for a long time I like to switch it up. So I finally finished it and I'm very pleased with it. So hopefully I'll be brave enough to wear it out. I don't know if you guys have made sweaters or not, or if you're like this, but if I make something, I'm very self-conscious about it because I know that I made it and it's not, I don't know. What do y'all think? Would you wear this out? Um, Let me know in the comments. Okay, the other thing I've done, and I think I've shown you this basket, but I started another one. I loved it so much. And, it works up pretty quickly, but like I said, I like to switch off my projects and work on different things. So this is just another colorway of the I Love This Yarn Chunky from Hobby Lobby. And then I was working on something for my sister, and I was just playing around with the yarn, and I made this little thing. I first thought I wanted to make a flower, but I didn't like the way the flower turned out, so I just made a little circle and put a button in it. And I thought when I got finished, I would put this on the front of the bag. So it would go like, over here, or of course it would match, obviously. But I thought that was really fun. So that's a plan. I've just got to finish it. And I did sell a bag. I got a check in the mail this week, or maybe it was the end of last week, from Chestnut Creek School of the Arts, where I sell my bags, and they have a gift shop in there. Actually, this sweater is really warm, so I definitely think a tank top is all I need under it. But anyway, I sold a bag, so that made me really happy. It's just knowing that somebody liked something you made enough to purchase it. And I mean, it was rather expensive if you consider the commission that the art school takes. Okay, now, speaking of the art school, the reason I'm so excited tonight and wanted to make a video and wanted to share all this is because today has been phenomenal. I met my artist friend. We've been friends for over 25 years. I met her downtown for lunch, and then impromptu, I took off work and made a few phone calls and worked it out and registered for a drawing class at the School of the Arts downtown and went to that. And she and I were able to share an art field afternoon together. So the teacher of the class was just absolutely wonderful. I needed that so badly because I have been crocheting and knitting and painting a little abstractly and just really out of practice drawing. And it's been bothering me. And it's like every time I sit down to draw something from life, I get really uptight and really anxious. And I think it's because I'm so out of practice. It's like it's just a piece of paper, Deborah. Come on, it's just a pencil, it's just a piece of paper. Calm down. So, but I don't think I could have gotten out of that as much if I had not participated in this class. It just really was therapy for me to have the support of a teacher to kind of guide me and encourage me. And I really learned a lot and I enjoyed it so much. So I don't know if you've read Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, but she suggests that you have an artist date every week. And that's one of the practices for enhancing your creativity. I read that whenever she came out with it, and it's been at least 20 years. But today was an artist date for sure. I mean, it was just so spur of the moment, spontaneous, and so much fun to just play hooky from work for the afternoon and attend a drawing class. So I highly recommend that. If it's not drawing, whatever you're passionate about, take a break once in a while from the routine and step out of it wasn't really out of my comfort zone because but it kind of was because I'm so out of practice. But I saw the drawing on the website that the instructor had done, and it was of a plant. And I am very much a still life person. I love to draw and paint still lifes. And so that immediately drew me in. I think if it had been a realistic landscape or something like that, I wouldn't have been drawn to it. But her class was called um, something like drawing for fun and relaxation, and that just spoke to me because I think when I first started drawing, I was very realistic. I wanted everything to be, you know, very realistic, and it was very frustrating to me. I could make it realistic, but then I didn't really have the joy in it. So, what I'm trying to do in my art now is to be more expressive, make my lines more expressive, um, and just not, be so hyper realistic. Not to be sloppy or anything, but what we did today was a blind contour drawing and a modified contour drawing. So in the blind contour, and I remembered this. I used to teach art classes years ago. I mean, when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I would teach drawing classes and I would teach private lessons. But I've just gotten so far removed from that, it seems like. And so we went over what a blind contour drawing was and the modified contour. And I knew this information years ago, but I was very rusty. So it was really good to hear those terms again and have them redefined for me. So a blind contour is just what it's called. Contour is line. So it's a line drawing, and you don't look at the paper and you don't lift your pencil. You just draw what's in front of you very slowly and meditatively, and you're trying to, see the details and get all of it down without lifting your pencil and without looking at your paper. So they're always going to be kind of wonky and not at all realistic most of the time. And that's okay. That's what they're supposed to be. But it's a way to warm up and free yourself. And so I really enjoyed it. And it just took some of the pressure off to be in there with people that maybe didn't have a lot of drawing experience, and to see, the work that they created. It was just a real joy. So I have had a wonderful day. I went back to work and I was frantically trying to get the office in order before I left. And then my husband called and wanted to take me out to dinner. So it's been a really, really good day. And I wanted to share that with you. This is that big twist party yarn that I have knitted. And I've been working on this for a while, but of course I work on different things. And I want your opinion as to whether you think I should make this into a sweater and risk making a mess, because I truly don't have a pattern or know what I'm doing to make it a sweater. I have an idea. What I'd like to do if I made it a sweater is do it like this. I'll show you. The way I made my bathrobe sweater, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back a few videos, and I did a video on it. But this is the back of a sweater. This is crochet. And then I've started the panel, the front panel. It'll be a cardigan, and the panel will come on down. And then I'll do another panel on the other side, and this will be where my neck goes. And I'll sew the sides together and put the sleeves on. So that's what I would do with this were I to continue it. My fear is that it's not wide enough to be a good fit. It may be okay, but I don't want it to, come up short. I don't know. The other thing I could do, because I am enjoying this, I cannot tell you how much I enjoy working on this. I love the yarn. I love the way it you can see all the variation in the color. This is the Big Twist Party in the colorway Ocean. No, Beach. Beach something. It's one of the older colors that they first came out with when the yarn was first introduced. So Big Twist Party from Joanne in the color Beach or Beachy or something. So this is the one where I crocheted to begin with and then started knitting. But I love working on this. And so I could just continue it, you know, on and on until it got long enough to be like a blanket shawl. You know, it wouldn't take that much longer. It could be a prayer shawl, blanket shawl. So I could do that, or I could make it into a sweater. And I would like to know what you think. Do you think I should, you know, because I'm enjoying it so much, should I continue it like it is? It's a less risky endeavor to do that and make it a scarf, or should I make it into a sweater? Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. And that's one thing I'd really like to ask of you is to interact with me more. I love reading comments. That just excites me to no end. And I try to respond to everyone. So if you would leave a comment, that would just thrill me. So let me know first what you think of this and if you would wear it out or if you would be totally embarrassed to be seen in it. And if you think I should make this into a sweater or continue it and let it be a blanket scarf. Because either way, I think, you know, it's got wonderful drape. So I think it would make a good either or, sweater or blanket scarf. Okay, so here's all the yarn I have. So I've got plenty of this yarn. Well, look, I'm sitting here trying to guess what the color is, and I've got it right beside me. It's beach. The color is beach. Now, they just came out with a new color called Ocean Waves or Ocean, and it's much brighter. And then they came out with a second one, and it starts with a G, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It's something like, I don't know, but it's an even brighter blue. So I ordered all those. I'll show them to you eventually, but I just got the three newest colors to show you. Okay, one more thing I'm working on. This is very exciting. I'm doing that class with Joanne Sharpe, and I showed you the book the last time that I filmed. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to go get that. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. This is the book, and I'm going to try to hold it up where you can see the stitching. I've got more on this side. Just some real, you know, slow stitching. Nothing. I am certainly no quilter. And then this is the inside of the book that I have upside down. Sorry. This is the little, you know, pocket where the book goes in, and I've sewn very crudely the edges. This is the class by Joanne Sharpe. So a lot of this, you know, is her, well, all of this is her idea and her content, but my paintings. And I tell you, I'm trying to use washi tape on this page, but it keeps coming off. And I don't like to have washi tape that doesn't stick. That really annoys me. So I'm a little disappointed in my washi tape. This is a page, and all this, you know, is her lesson, based on her lesson. But here's what I wanted to show you. This is something that she had on her page. Don't paint what you are not. And I thought, oh, I love that. Don't paint what you are not. I am not about realism anymore. I don't enjoy it. It's not that I can't do it. I can sit down and draw or sketch a very realistic portrait, but I don't enjoy it, and I don't get excited. And my Sarah, and it is a Sarah, she's a podcaster, a knitter, and crocheter, and she says heart jumping it's not heart jumping to me. It doesn't make my heart skip a beat when I look at a realistic painting that I did. For instance, and this is not so much realistic because I did this from memory, but it's a realistic subject. I hope you can see that. It's supposed to be mountains, and what I really did was I just put in really loose watercolor washes to indicate mountains. And then I saw this thing that looked like a waterfall, and basically it was what the watercolor did as it went onto the paper and into the valleys of the paper. And then I've gone in with colored pencil and just sketched in some texture. But anyway, this just doesn't do anything for me. And of course, a waterfall, it's not realistic by any stretch because I don't even know a waterfall's not going to be up near the mountains. You know what I mean? But this excites me. This is from her class. And these are just art marks and art bits and just lines with watercolor. This is sort of, it's not really realistic, but it's just fun. And these are painted papers that she had us do. And anyway, I'll just quickly, and then she told us how to make copies of these, on our printers, and then use them in other artwork. So this is one I did. And this is just watercolor, just putting shapes on paper and playing. Here's another one I really like. This very abstract. This is one that I did not as part of the class, but just playing with color and line. You see all the marks, and every single bit of that is with watercolor. And this makes my heart jump. It makes my heart sing. This really makes my heart sing, these colors. And this is probably, these two are probably, well, I don't know. I like them all. They were just so much fun to make. And I don't know what my deal is with circles, but I absolutely have a thing for circles. Obviously. Let me find another. Well, I'm trying. Oh, here's a little bird that just appeared out of nowhere on my paper. I was playing around with my watercolors and making marks, and I don't know. I just ended up with a bird. Oh, this one. I love this one. It's hard to get it in the frame here. And I'll tell you why I love it. I love what watercolor does. To me, watercolor is just magical. I don't know if you can see all that richness. But all these drips and splashes and blooms and the way the watercolor interacts with the paper, it just thrills me. This is the same thing. I mean, this is a copy, okay? That's not even the original, but look, you can see all that wonderful stuff that watercolor does. And those things make my heart sing. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because I realized, the same thing goes for crochet. I don't need to crochet or knit what I am not. So if I'm not enjoying something that I'm knitting or crocheting, then don't do it. I mean, the whole purpose of art and creativity and knitting, crocheting, whatever, I mean, there are dual purposes, of course, multiple purposes. If you're making a prayer shawl or a blanket for some type of charity ministry, those things are very important. But the most important thing is that you're enjoying your craft. And, even if this ended up being nothing, I have had so much enjoyment knitting that piece of fabric. And it just fascinates me that you can take a ball of yarn, or a blank piece of paper, and then use your hands and your imagination and your skills and your craft to make a piece of fabric or a painting. I just think that's the most wonderful gift. It's just the most wonderful gift. And it's just so nice to be able to share it with you all. I love to talk about art. I could talk and talk and talk about art and craft and creativity. And I think that's why I have this channel. I mean, I need a place to talk about it. So, what I did was I put away the Christmas colored blanket that I didn't have any interest on finishing because it's not Christmas anymore. I think I just totally lost interest in it. And I thought, I don't have to keep working on this. This is my craft. So I put that away, and I'll, if I get the urge next Christmas, I'll get it back out. And then I thought about my knitting and how much pressure that I'm putting on myself to knit a sweater. And I'm a very much I'm a very young beginner of knitting. I mean, I've only been knitting since June. So for me to think that I could, all of a sudden knit a sweater, I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself to do that. And this is only the second crocheted sweater that I've made. And I mean, it's not difficult, but there's a lot to making a fitted garment, and it takes a lot of time, and it's not real creative like a blanket where you can put all the colors together, and it's just so much fun to make a granny square or a bag or something, and you can design it yourself, and it doesn't take a lot of energy and brain power, and you don't get frustrated. Well, I was getting frustrated more with the trying to knit a sweater. I mean, that was just completely overwhelming me. So I thought, stop. You don't have to do this. You can crochet more sweaters and get comfortable with the design of a sweater, with, the whole process of doing these increases and doing the sleeves, and, get comfortable with crocheting a garment and then go to knit it. So what I do enjoy very much is making knitted shawls. I absolutely love, I don't know if you remember, and if you didn't see it, look back a few videos, and I had finished my first knitted shawl, and it was by Noble Knits. She did a tutorial on it, Noble Knits on YouTube, and all you do is increase on one side, right here. I've got my little stitch marker to alert me that this is the side you increase on. So like right now, this will be the side that I increase, and you just do a front and back knit stitch, and then you knit all the way across. Well, what happens is at the end, the increased side becomes the top of your shawl. And so you just keep going, and it's so easy, and it's so enjoyable, and it's no pressure, and I don't get frustrated. Can you see this beautiful yarn? I used bigger needles than what the yarn calls for, so it will be more drapey. That's one mistake I made in my previous shawl, is I didn't go up a size, and the shawl is rather tightly knit. It needs more drape, but live and learn, right? So this is Hobby Lobby Soft and Sleek Low Peel Fiber. But I can't remember the colorway because I don't have the ball band anymore. And I'm going to pair it with this Heartland and maybe even this Red Heart Soft in a darker color. I just think it's so much fun. One of my favorite things is to mix solids and variegateds and, come up with something original, something new. Not really original, but you know what I mean. So I thought I'm going to get some of these scarves under my belt this year and just enjoy myself. And I'm going to do another pattern, a triangle shawl. Um, I can't remember who the designer is, but there's a tutorial that I'm going to watch. Well, I actually watched the tutorial and then wrote down the instructions. So that's next on my needles if I get bored with this. And, I'm just going to give myself a break and work in this book and knit my shawls and just enjoy life. So I wanted to, again, show you this book. One thing I did is this was an assignment to do the paint swatches. So I'll just quickly flip through. These are just color mixes. You got your grid and like your colors on the top and bottom and then the mixes. I had fun doing this. That's it. But we work in this all throughout the year, and we have Zoom meetings twice a month. And if you go to joannesharpe.com, and I'll link it in the description, then you can still join this class. And it's so much fun. It's so little pressure. Her style is very whimsical and very colorful and very freeing. And you don't have to worry about realism and, you know, can I draw a straight line? Can I cut? Can I, whatever. I mean, it's wonderful. So, I encourage you to check her out. And again, I'll link her in the description. But I know this has been a little bit of a long video, but I was just so excited today after my wonderful time with Andrea. Andrea, if you're watching, hi. I had a great, great afternoon. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll subscribe if you like what you see, and I do hope to provide more content and maybe post more regularly. I am sorry that things have been a little crazy. We've had nutty weather, and I've been you have to be, for me anyway, I have to be kind of excited to get on here and talk about things, and I've been in a real relaxed mood lately and just haven't wanted to film. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here. And I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful evening.